Welcome back to the 19th Fairway Show, joined by always Joe, Mr. Willie, and G. We've got the full crew here tonight. It is U.S. Open week, but first let's talk a little bit about the RBC Canadian Open. What a battle at the end. We had quite the trifecta in a group with Tony Finau, Justin Thomas, and Rory McIlroy. Great ending to that one. One of my favorite things to see was the crowd surrounding the green on the 18th hole, 72nd hole on Sunday afternoon. You just love to see that. It got my hopes up that it might happen again at the U.S. Open. What do you guys think of that RBC Canadian Open? Obviously, an exciting finish.
Course looked cool. Rough was thick. Pretty good leaderboard. They set it up for scoring on Sunday, so people were going off. I mean, Tony was tied for the lead going into Sunday, shot a 64 and lost.
Yeah, the worst score in the final group was -6. So you're taking that all day.
Yeah, pretty absurd. Cool tournament to watch.
I gotta always, give credit where credit is due. And I'm often heard on this program calling the winner of last week's event Choke Leroy. He showed a different side to him that week. We'll have to see if it's a steady, maintained, progression from Choke Leroy, or if that was a one-off. I played really well that week. Hopefully he can get it done at the US Open. That'd be good. And, we'll see if the Choke Leroy, effect is over.
He's definitely on the right track. And I think the course in a lot of ways was fairly similar to what they're going to see at Brookline this week for the US Open. Some thicker rough, tighter fairways. I mean, it is a national open still. It's a Canadian Open. We come right down to Boston for the US Open. But one thing of note for Rory was every single one of his drives was 180 or more mile an hour ball speed, which is pretty awesome to see. Very consistent there. He was fairly accurate, and his wedge work was just phenomenal. I mean, on that 17th hole to chip from 125 yards to about 3 feet to knock in that birdie pretty much sealed the deal for him. And he's got the complete game going into Brookline. I think that makes him the favorite, if I'm not mistaken, by the odds I was seeing. Willie, do you have that to back it up?
Yeah.
Rory?
I don't have it in front of me.
JT is the favorite.
I've got Rory at plus 1100 and JT at plus 1200. So
you're talking Vegas odds. Never mind.
You got the.
I thought we were talking power rankings here.
The real odds, bro.
Oh, my bad, everyone.
Well, hey, JT's been in form for the better part of the last calendar year, and obviously has the PGA Championship to show for it. Wouldn't be surprised to see him or Scottie Scheffler claim a second major of the year this year. Both are very capable. Rory or John Rahm defending, Cam Smith. There's some good names all playing well this year that could contend and get themselves a major. The US Open typically is the toughest test in golf. So fully expect -10 to be tough to get to. Maybe they'll get there and go a little bit backwards. We'll see. But I'm expecting this thing to be, -8 or closer to par.
I hope. USGA has got kind of soft the last couple of years. We need Shinnecock all over again, where Phil's hitting putts while they're still moving. That's what I want to see.
I mean, the venue itself, we haven't seen it in over a half decade at Brookline, but it is got to be one of the easier US Open venues in recent history, at least that I can think of. Shinnecock was obviously absurd, that kind of island windiness playing into effect there too. So we'll see what Brookline plays like. The country club is named the country club because it was America's original country club. It's been around since the 1890s, and great history on it there with Francis Ouimet, the amateur who ended up winning the thing, versus Ted Ray and Harry Vardon. Go watch The Greatest Game Ever Played. Francis Ouimet played by Shia LaBeouf on that one. Great one. It's available on Disney Plus. Shout out to plug Disney Plus. But yes, great history at Brookline. Exciting event. Glad it's coming to Boston. Don't know if I'm going to make it out there yet or not, but I'm hoping so. We'll see if 19th Fairway can find our way in. We'll take a good look at that as the week goes on, and we'll make sure to give you updates as that happens. But the US Open, let's just dive right into this thing. What are we thinking, boys? Who's going to come out on top? Before we get into our picks, who's your winner for the week?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in here because I haven't had a chance to talk. No brainer. It's Justin Thomas. I think he's taking it home. I think he's been playing great golf, and I loved seeing Rory win last week, but I know that gives him that much more motivation. And like, he's on the cusp of playing really good golf. I think he even posted about it too. So we'll see if he can bring his complete game coming into this major. But I gotta root for my guy JT. He's just too solid right now.
Is it gonna be a household name, or is it gonna be a middle of the pack household name? Do you think it's gonna be
Well,
like a big star, or somebody that we know but isn't considered a big star?
I'm hoping the conditions dictate it that it's a veteran, which would probably mean a household name. But we'll see. I'm always down for the underdog to win, especially a major. So
Yeah.
As far
Hard
as
to say.
conditions go, Friday is the only day we're expecting any storms. It looks like maybe some thunderstorms on Friday. It's still going to be hot. It'll be the hottest day of the week at 88 degrees, but there could be some afternoon showers, which is going to play right into the cut line. We'll see where the cut line's at, but if there's some storms, maybe if there's lightning in the area and they have to delay it, always some quirkiness involved. So we'll see what happens there, but it is going to cause some drama around the cut line as we approach that end of the second round there.
Gonna have to
Love
look
it.
at those morning afternoon waves,
We see, I know, I think JT's early too, but I know Spieth, Homa, that group goes off early, late. So that's one thing to think about. Lots of obviously top players out there. So a lot of tee times to look at as we make our picks. But what do you guys think? I mean, this is the first tournament since the Live inaugural event in London. A lot of guys mixing back in for the first time. Mainly Phil Mickelson is back out with a bunch of the guys on the PGA Tour for the first time in months. He was quoted saying he hasn't spoken to Jay Monahan since October. So this is Phil's first time back on the scene.
okay, I need to raise a question, and
let's do
maybe
it.
I'm just an idiot here, but
That's probably
well,
true.
like shut up. Hey Joe, I can't even see you. You're not even on camera. So like what dictates Phil being able to play on the US Open compared to any other tournament? Like what dictates the Live like exemption versus like them being suspended? Because I'm confused as all hell.
Okay,
when,
let me
like,
try and
That's
let
a
me
good
try and
question.
give this to G. So G, the RNA, like the RNA, and then the PGA of America is not the PGA Tour. Do you know all those names? So
Sure.
the RNA runs the Open, the British Open, and the PGA of America is the teaching professionals of America. That's the PGA Championship. And then the what's the Open one? The US Open is what?
USGA.
The USGA. Yeah, so that's not a part of the PGA Tour is only for playing touring professionals. So like the PGA Tour is its own like sanctioning body. They don't host any major event though, except for tour events.
But
So it's
I thought there was all this question still about what majors. So you're saying basically the players that were able to join Live could play in majors, but not the PGA Championship,
no.
because that's directly.
No, the PGA Championship is not host. The PGA Tour does not host any official major championship because the Masters is hosted by the Masters themselves. The RNA hosts the British Open, and the USGA hosts the PGA, the US Open, and then I'm fucking up on the other one, but
Who
all
hosts
of
the
those
PGA Championship?
PGA of America. So there's
Yeah, the
PGA of
PGA Tour
America.
and PGA. They're separate entities, but they're
Yeah.
obviously the closest in relation. So if any of them were to go, I would imagine the PGA would probably be the first. The
Okay.
Masters is totally private. That's their own deal. USGA is also very close with PGA Tour, as being the American Golf Association. But it's going to come down to official world golf ranking. Live is still figuring out how they're going to be factored into that equation. That's up in the air. We don't know what is going to go on with that because they're going to play 8 events a year. They're a professional event, but as of right now, however they finish in these events or their rankings in Live have no say into official world golf ranking, and that's going to play into WGC events as well and majors. Obviously, top 50 get into most of the majors. I think maybe PGA has more or less, but the world golf ranking is really the last stone to be overturned, and we'll see what happens with that for the Live players. But as far as now, USGA commented that anyone who went to Live but was already in the field for the US Open was going to be playing. They weren't going to go back and say anyone who had already been invited to the US Open couldn't come anymore. So that is for this year. We don't know what's going to happen in 2023.
Got it.
Now they're all in. And once they were in before the Live event, they were in.
I think to answer it as I was thinking about it more, the simple answer to your question is there's 4 governing bodies that can make their own like rules and their own decisions on letting those Live players play. And somehow the PGA Tour is not one of those 4. The PGA Tour only can choose the PGA Tour since they don't host a major championship.
But the weekly tournaments we see,
that
like
makes
the
sense.
Memorial Tournament, the Arnold Palmer, the Barracuda Open, most of the weekly tournaments are all hosted by the PGA.
Love the Barracuda.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much the short answer is like nobody really knows because like Bryson won the US Open. He's got a 5-year exemption into the US Open. So like, are they not going to let him go if they decide so? And they're all like strategically partnered with the PGA Tour. So nobody really knows. Yeah, nobody really, dude, like a bunch of past Masters champions went, like Charles Schwartzel, Sergio, Patrick Reed, Dustin. So like if they start not inviting people, then their field's going to be cut pretty quick.
Yeah.
I don't think the Masters will have a problem filling up their field any year, but that is a big one. Obviously, there are a bunch of Masters champions that are on the Live Tour now. So we're going to see, we do know that DeChambeau and Reed are going. We expect to hear maybe a couple more names coming soon. There was a lot of speculation around Morikawa I've been hearing, but he seemed to kind of shut that down in his interview today. So we'll see who the next to go is, if there is a next, and how long this Live Tour lasts. I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like for those guys that went if the Live Tour were to shut down in less than 5 years. Let's just give it that grace period. But for now, it's here and it's here to stay. And Jay Monahan and the PGA Tour have to deal with it. They're doing their best to put their foot down. They're obviously having some of their star players like Rory McIlroy is commenting very much out loud about his feelings on it. JT said, if anyone else goes, it's just sad. Rahm is sticking put. He commented that he doesn't really like the format. I don't know if you guys saw those where he was saying it's just kind of quirky and a 3-day 54-hole event, shotgun start. It's just not very professional like the PGA Tour is, that's been in place for over 100 years. So there are a lot of mixed feelings on this Live Tour. And here we are at the US Open, a major championship being the first mixed event. And obviously majors are probably the only place it's going to happen, but it just so happens that it is the week after the first Live event that they all get together. And I think we've even heard reports of people not really mixing in so well. Like maybe someone didn't say hi to another person, or they're not, interacting as well. So a little bit of an interesting situation. And it just is odd that it's taking place at a major. I mean, this is, I think Brooks said it, where we come here to compete. This is a major championship. I'm thinking about the US Open. I'm not thinking about the Live, which makes total sense to me. And I don't know what you guys think about that and how this whole thing's going to unfold with them mixing in together.
I just think that it's so interesting that the only reason that anybody is mad that people are going to the Live event is that it's solely from Saudi Arabia. And it's the only reason, because people don't look at the European tour or the China tour or any other tour that people play on. Like Ian Poulter was saying, he's like, I've been playing around the world for 20 plus years, and I am just now getting grief because it's backed by Saudi Arabian people, and not sure Saudi Arabia has done some things that, nobody likes to think about, but not everybody. I'm sure the people that are backing this aren't those people, and maybe they are, but it's just
They are. It's
mean,
literally the Saudi Arabian government.
yeah. Well, it's
But
just,
it's not just who's backing it. Like, this is gonna blow up the PGA Tour. Like, this is gonna change golf as we know it. So, like, from a fan perspective, it's not good.
but
Two watered
competition is
down
always
tours
good
is
to grow the game, and that's the
This
PGA
isn't
Tour's motto.
competition. This isn't like a business coming to compete with you. This is someone with like unlimited money who's just throwing money around to like try to change how people view their country. Like, they're not in it for a profit. This isn't a business that's going to make anything better.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe.
the well really isn't going to run dry, and that is an oil pun. But I do want to say that these guys are making a career decision. A lot of them are past their primes, maybe never going to win again on the PGA Tour, and they can go get guaranteed money. I understand the concern about where it is backed, but as a consumer, I think more product is a good thing. We're going to see more golf. And I heard a lot of comments about two watered down tours isn't good for anyone. But I think Joe also made a very good point just now that growing the game is going to lead to more players climbing the ranks. I mean, how many players get stuck in the Corn Ferry Tour because the PGA Tour is just so hard to crack? Now they can either go to live or they'll have a chance to get on the PGA Tour and make a name for themselves. So I don't think there's a lack of spectacular golfers out there. I think that this is going to overall be good because whether you're, younger and don't want to wait around to crack the PGA Tour, you can go to live, or if you're past your prime, you're not really going to win anymore on the PGA Tour. You don't want to hang around for 35th place and a shot at $100,000, go to live. But right now, all the star players that are in their prime are on the PGA Tour. I think it'll remain that way for quite a while, if not forever. And we still get good golf on both sides. And that's all as fans that I can really ask for.
Totally.
Well said, D.
Yep. I agree.
It'll be interesting to see if they get like the whole world golf ranking point application approved, because like the people that sit on the board of that are like the PGA Tour and like the DP World Tour. So are they going to approve that, or like I don't even know the stipulations of that application and like how much sway the board has on that, but it'll be interesting because if you can't get world golf ranking points, it's kind of useless.
Then they're in trouble. Yeah. And right now it's up in the air, and that's probably what is going to have to go through the court circuit. But,
Yeah.
For now they're playing golf. And, if we listen to Dustin Johnson, he's just happy to play 8 events, get paid, and have whatever it is, 46 weeks left in his year to do whatever he wants. I mean,
I love that. That was the best quote. That was such a Dustin Johnson like quote. The reporter is like, well, what do you do with this? Whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Unlimited money.
Well, it'll also be interesting because like obviously the main moneymaker for the PGA Tour is the TV rights. And there's all these stipulations in the contracts that the strength of field has to be a certain level for them to get paid the amount that they agreed to. And there's outs in the contracts if the strength of field isn't as good. So if the top 48 or whatever jump to the live golf, then the PGA Tour is going under.
Nope. They got Tiger. He's like the 100%.
They need Tiger to become commissioner.
Honestly,
Really though.
who knows if this live thing blows up, Tiger might take the reins. But for now, PGA Tour totally owns the broadcasting, NBC, CBS, Fox, ESPN, whatever it may be. It's all over cable. But live is on livegolf.com, Facebook, and YouTube. So the streaming side of things, where streaming is obviously a new thing for people everywhere, that could be a big game changer for live. They might be able to take advantage of that and kind of own the streaming service side of things. But
no commercials, like the most fire thing I've ever seen of like a sporting event, a live sporting event.
Besides their own Dennis Quaid Evolution commercial.
Dude,
Wait, what?
they also need to get way better reporting. Like some of the questions
Yeah.
that they're asking were so painful. They're in like their British voice, or like just asking the most brutal and like not. They're like, yeah, we're not going to answer that question. And he's like, well, why not, mate? Answer the question. Why not? He's like, I just don't want to answer it. They're like, well, answer the damn question. And he's like, look, dude, you're asking me the questions. I don't want to answer it. They're like, well, and the guy's like, next question, and no, answer the question. I was like, geez, this is like high school. Like,
The
Yeah.
guy
do
asked
you
him
not
if
know your reporting skills, dude?
he was like, "Is there anywhere you wouldn't morally play?" Asking Westwood and Poulter, and they're like, "What? I don't have to answer that question. Like, if Vladimir Putin hosted a golf tournament, would you
Yeah.
play?" It's like, come on, dude. Like, let's stay a little bit serious here.
Such
And
a
then he like kept
hypothetical.
going. He's like, okay, fine, not Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-il.
Yeah.
They're like, no, dude, stop.
Well, that's enough on the live for now. Obviously, a lot to come. We have Portland coming up in a couple of weeks. There's CJ, but yeah, Portland, Pumpkin Ridge for the next live event will be at the end of this month. We'll be up in Seattle during that time, so not too far away. Hop, skip, and a
Yeah.
jump for the 19th Fairway next
Oh,
meetup.
looks like we're competing.
Honestly, I think there's a better show up at Chambers than there will be at Pumpkin Ridge, but that's for
I'll take
another day.
120 for last place.
Easy.
$4 million for the winner. Gee, but we are going to Chambers, former U.S. Open venue, 2015, where Jordan Spieth was victorious, capturing his second major and back-to-back majors, beating Dustin Johnson on the 72nd hole. But for now, it is the 2022 U.S. Open from Brookline, right outside of Boston, Massachusetts. We've got the two U.S. Open posters behind me, Chambers Bay and Pebble Beach. Hoping to make that a third if I can make this visit down to Brookline this week. I'm expecting a great golf tournament. I'm expecting the USGA to make it as tough as possible, for them to dry it out as much as possible. Obviously, we know the rough is thick as possible. So we're going to see what these scores look like. I'm thinking 5 under is going to be a good score that's up there with a chance to win. But we are going to see. I think that's what JT won the PGA Championship at, and I've heard some comparisons for this course to Southern Hills. But we have some pretty good weather pending Friday afternoon. Anything else to cover before we get into our picks? What do you guys think? Any other U.S. Open history? Should mention a little bit about last year.
John Rahm, that was a dope win. Torrey Pines, classic U.S. Open venue. I mean, pretty much Tiger's home course. He's won like a million times there. That was a pretty good setup last year. I hope they just make it hard from the front. I mean, I know they want to try to ease people in, and there's double the golfers that play in the first and second round, and that's like a pace of play issue. But I hope the USGA brings the teeth with the setup for the first and second round, and don't wait for the weekend.
I mean, looking at the No Laying Up cruise, Instagram, that rough seems like it's pretty luscious already. It seems like if you're not hitting the fairway, you are, advancing it 120 yards at that. You're taking like wedge out of that sucker.
And the fairways were pretty shiny, so they could be rolling. Looks like a lot of blind shots. This course hasn't hosted anything since maybe that Ryder Cup where Justin Leonard hit that long ass putt. Is that right, D?
The 99 Ryder Cup. Yeah, I think that was.
So it would be cool to see this on TV. I always like seeing a new course that I'm not too familiar with.
Yeah, be excited to see it. Absolutely. The fairways are looking like they could be rolling a little bit. There are some blind shots, some elevated greens. There is a short par 3, the 11th hole, that's playing like 120 yards. So that'll be fun to attack that flag. Obviously, we've seen more long par 3s than we have short in recent memory, but the course is playing just over 7,200 yards as a par 70. So that'll be interesting. I can't name that many golf courses that get to 7,000 yards that are public, at least. So private club, the country club, and it's going to be maxed out in every sense of the way. These guys need a test, and I know the USGA always delivers. So we'll see. I don't think it's going to be Shinnecock, but it will be a U.S. Open, and excited to see what goes on there. As for last year's U.S. Open, Tiger Woods has won 7 events at Torrey Pines, the 7 Farmers Insurance Opens, and the U.S. Open in 2008. John Rahm won the U.S. Open last year and had some pretty amazing putts on 17 and 18 to catch that right at the right time. Louis Oosthuizen kind of fell off unfortunately going OB off the tee on 17. Another really good chance for him to have caught his major championship, but now he's off to live. So we'll see if he's going to be in the cards for any future majors. But we don't know what's going to happen this week. A fresh leaderboard, everyone starts even par, and we have no idea. It could be anyone's game going into this year's US Open. And with that, let's dive right into these picks. We've got the orders for this week at Willie, Joe, G, and myself.
Yeah, tough to end in last place last week. Had some pretty good golfers, but just had one gnome/elf motherfucker just blow up on Sunday. He's probably going straight to the live, always complaining about every course he's playing on. But I'm gonna throw a little wrinkle into the first pick. He's kind of flown under the radar, which is pretty crazy for where he's ranked in the world. Defending champ, going with John Rahm.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
It's me, right?
Yes.
Your name's Joe.
And we are going 5 picks, double points for the US Open. And I think this one is going to be interesting with the new scoring format where, you count the scores of your missed cuts, because there could be some blow ups, especially with 5 picks each.
Yeah, Cam Young +12 on a Sunday.
It's horrible.
Tough. Oh gosh, man. First pick. It's so tough to do.
Is it?
It's the easiest one.
No, dude, not for me. I think that I am gonna go with a guy who gosh, it's so hard to pick him though. Fuck, I'm going Choke Leroy.
Are you
Wow.
kidding me?
Are you serious?
Dude, the guy's been driving it well. He's in good shape.
No way.
I'm gonna laugh if you choke Leroy's.
I can't believe you just took him.
Oh no, I can't either. Oof.
Do I even have to say my pick?
Wow, you must be playing really well if Joe's taking him.
Yeah.
Gee, you probably don't. You already gave a whole speech on him.
Yeah,
Hmm.
JT
Team Titleist.
all day, baby.
Well, I was definitely going to pick Rory, but I'm going to have to jump ahead to my next pick with Jordan Spieth a little earlier than I thought, but we'll take it.
Nice.
Really, not even Scheffler, Mr. D?
Well, Spieth's been finishing ahead of Scheffler in the last few events.
I
Dude,
mean,
Scotty is
I'm just
not
looking at
playing
the power rankings. It's interesting.
well. Oh, is it, Mr. G?
Yeah, but hey, what do I know?
Going a little off brand for pick number 2 again. It's gonna be a theme for me.
Really?
You got to switch things up, Willie.
Picking a guy who does well at US Opens, did solid at the PGA, likes a tough course, never comes out on top, but is always placing. Gonna go with Mr. Xander Schauffele.
What?
Phew.
Wow,
Phew.
that's interesting.
Speaking of a guy who
He only has like all top 10s ever at the friggin' US Open.
and Masters.
It's a good stat line.
Okay, I'm going with a guy who enjoys tough courses and really shot himself in the foot last week in the opening round. But I'm going with a guy by the name of Cameron Smith. Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
Yeah. Never doubt him. Big stage performer, as the power rankings say.
Yeah. Well, this is just too easy. Scotty Scheffler.
The chef.
He's not been playing well. I'm predicting miscut from Scotty Scheffler. You heard it here first.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. You heard it here first.
He did miss the cut at the PGA. I don't expect him to miss the cut here, but I don't expect him to finish top 5.
Well, you both are wrong. You heard it here first.
We did. We got the receipts, G. It's all recorded.
I'm kind of pissed now that I picked him.
It's already in ink, G. Sorry.
Like instantly, it was like, wait, what?
Not a typical G pick, but honestly,
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
he's player of the year
I'll
already.
be good. He'll probably finish like T2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the certified majors player who is looking for his first, and it could be around the corner. Will Zalatoris.
Oh, Zally. Didn't expect him to go this early, but definitely liked him. Would have liked him on my squad. Actually, might have picked him next.
That's what happens
Good
when
pick.
Joe takes Chokleroy.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue the theme of out of the box picks. Don't think
do
Joe's
it.
gonna like this one at all. Also a guy that plays good on tough courses, it seems like. Seems like he's finding it a little bit. He really had a rough stretch, but
Oh, it's magic.
going
No.
with Big Tony.
Oh,
Big Tony. Ooh, I was just
T-Name?
looking at him.
Probably the sketchiest pick I've ever made in anything ever,
Yeah.
but
Honestly, he
That-
plays well at majors.
we'll see.
that's a really that's a big payout or a tough L. So you can go, top 5 usually or miscut.
Yeah, 100%. Boom or bust.
Yeah, boomer bust. I'm going with a guy who is not boomer bust. He is pretty steady Eddie and finds his way atop the leaderboards. Ever since I saw him live on the range, I had to jump on the bandwagon and go with Mr. Hideki Matsuyama leading the tour, and he's top 20 in every single statistical category on tour. Sorry, G.
He's nice. He's nice. Hopefully he doesn't paint all his club faces.
Yeah, hopefully he learned his lesson.
That was not smart by Hideki, but he was just trying to be fresh, and who can hate on that? That's Hideki, He's the fresh guy. All right. Well, my third pick here, again, I think he does good in majors. Berkeley boy himself, Mr. Colin Morikawa.
Oh, thought you were going with another Berkeley boy, but I see you.
Yeah, no. Dang, Joe, I can't believe you went with Hideki that early.
Ducky.
It's fair.
I'm gonna go ahead and snag Sam Burns. He's been too consistent, and I like the way he's been playing lately.
Yeah, he's nice. No doubt about it. Can't be hating on that.
Yeah, no way, D. Great pick, Mom.
All right, I'm gonna go with a pick that G is just gonna despise, but this guy just hits fairways and he's playing well. Won Jack's tournament up in Memorial, but taking Billy Ho.
Yeah. Emotional player,
Mhm.
but if he's riding that high wave, he could be dangerous.
Yeah, you want to talk about boomer bust? He's either going like plus 20 or he's winning this thing.
Yeah, he might ruin your whole team score or make it. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Literally.
I like it. Though. My pick?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, yeah, I got to go with Shane Lowry, my boy.
Lurie.
My guy.
I don't got much
Wait.
this week. I'm just making my picks.
That should have been Joe's pick. Wait, Joe, who'd you just take?
What? I just took Matsuyama.
Yeah, so when Will Dog took Horschel, and then it's Joe's pick.
Oh, so it wasn't
Oh.
my turn.
Garito.
Oh my God. You guys always snub me on this. This is some
Lowry
bullshit.
back on the board.
No, I'm not gonna go Mike Lowry.
All right, thanks, Mr. Joe. Woo, woo.
I'm
No
writing
problem.
in
I'll go
Lowry
Lowry,
for
though.
G.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not going to. I will go. Golly, I'm gonna have to get out of this. I just don't think I trust Homa. I just don't think so, and I definitely don't trust freaking Patrick Cantlay.
Dude,
I am gonna go. Oh gosh, I just don't want to pick him, but I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to go with Matthew Fitzpatrick. I think the cross-handed chipping is going to be phenomenal out of this thick, long hair rough.
He does
I mean,
have a win. He does have a win at this course.
Yeah, he's seen it before.
He's pretty solid. Got to give it to him. Well, after I make this pick, we're on to our last round. Still some favorites of the gang here, but they are live defects in Louis Oosthuizen and DJ. I don't know.
D, why do you even bring that up, D? Why do you
Mr.
even have to
Major?
bring- Yeah, why do you even have to mention that?
Because
Is
I'm
what
still
I wanna
thinking.
know.
I'm still
No.
thinking.
D, I'm heated right now. Some BS. I'm gonna hold my language for the younger fans.
Well, I gotta say, I expected them to go. So if they're last minute picks,
Jeez.
more power to you.
You think they ain't on the radar? What do you think this is? Like amateur hour?
I mean, it's not like they're secrets. Like the names are out there. People are thinking of them.
D, we
But-
don't need to make mention of it though. Right before.
I know they weren't on Joe's radar, and he picks
Yeah.
right before G.
Yeah, for sure. Joe had no idea.
You don't think Joe's thinking about DJ? I don't know.
Dude,
But
if
Yeah.
DJ can't win a fucking live golf tournament, he cannot win the US Open. Part of my language for the younger audience.
It's so true, but I still kind
They
of
have like the 300th ranked player in live.
all right, I'm gonna go with the pick that Joe was afraid of, and the other Berkeley boy, Max Homa. He's too solid, and this is a little bit of a pouch dodging pick because he's not blowing up. Calling that right now. Knock on wood.
nice.
Good pick. Good pick.
I'm gonna go with the other pick that Joe was not a fan of. He's a past US Open champion at another insanely tough course. Some consider it maybe the toughest course in US Open history, and that is DJ.
DJ.
Nice.
I. Let's see.
Sorry about it, Joe.
No, it's all good, bro. Oh, hello, Usti. Nah, pass.
I needed
know-
that. We needed that to happen.
Oh gosh, man. I think this guy actually, oh man, I have a lot of these unknowns. Oh, he just doesn't play. Oh, sorry. I didn't see this guy. I was gonna go with Brooks Koepka, but I couldn't trust him. He doesn't play a ton of tournaments. And I just think playing a lot, you really get to see the value in that player. But this player does play a lot, and he's a solid player. Along the same lines as D, sort of a pouch dodge, but I think he could win this thing, truthfully. Victor Hovland.
Okay, I like that.
Dude, yeah, this is like, I don't know. Victor has all this hype, but in the majors, he doesn't show up. This is a big turning for him.
Yeah, he doesn't like blow up though. He usually just like,
He doesn't Matthew Wolf it.
Exactly. All about avoiding the wolves.
All right, Mr.
All right.
G.
Does
All
G
right,
need to
Dylan,
say
just
his
write
pick?
him down.
Louis Oosthuizen,
All
my
right.
boy. The live.
Team Oosti.
What bag did Usti get from Liv? Do you know, G?
I think he got like 989 million. Not sure though. Somewhere
Should buy
around
him a
there.
new ranch in Florida.
He got Tiger's offer. They sent it to Oosti once Tiger turned it down.
Exactly.
Honestly, I'm looking at G's team right here and thinking good
Solid.
thoughts for him.
Oh, dude, I'm about to
Who is it?
dominate.
He's got JT
Morikawa.
Scheffler.
Oh yeah, go ahead, dude.
Honestly, Morikawa is probably the weakest pick. That's
No.
saying something. JT, Scheffler, Morikawa, Lowry, and Usti. I mean, I fully expect Usti to show up in majors as always. Lowry's been playing very solid. Scheffler's the number one player in the world who made it to the 7th pick somehow. JT just won the last major, has been in very solid form, and I'm a little skeptical of Morikawa, but he's obviously won 2 majors at the ripe age of 24 or 25. So very solid lineup there for Mr. G. Joe with McIlroy right away. I love it. I mean, I would have picked him with my pick. So good to see Rahm go number 1 overall. It's been a while for him.
Wait,
Xander, Tony.
D. Go back and compliment all
picked
my
these?
players.
Cam Smith,
Hey,
definitely.
Fill out your team before you go through them.
All right. I'll finish off. The last pick is also a U.S. Open champion, his lone major back in 2003 at Marion, coming to Brookline off of
Wow.
a Sunday 60.
Oh
Another
my
bit of a
goodness.
pouch dodger, but Justin Rose.
Team Rose.
All right,
He's
Rosie.
Damn.
guaranteed to live. Guaranteed.
So we got some stacked lineups here. It is a major, so we get 5 players, and all the best players in the world come out for that. We're going to see what the cut ends up being. We're going to see if there's any of these 20 players that do blow up and how that affects our scoring at the end of the week, because that could be a quick out after Friday. But, I mean, lots to be said about all these guys. Got a lot of excitement going into this U.S. Open from Brookline, Boston, Massachusetts. The crowd is going to show up because they're going to have to root for something after the Dubs take it from the Celtics in 6 on Thursday.
Mhm.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll see you next time. 19th Fairway US Open week, over and out.